In this video, I'm going to be walking us through one of my favorite business planning concepts, the 12-week year, by an author by the name of Brian P. Moran. And I want to switch this to show it to you how you can use this in your real estate business. All right, so what is the 12-week year really? What it is an ability to change your focus. We all know that we need to develop our lighthouse goals for the year. But oftentimes when we build this big lighthouse and we build a plan around it, it is such a big, scary thing that's far out and distant in the future that we don't really understand how we're supposed to get there. So Brian's methodology is much different. It's meant to chunk down the year into 12 weeks. See, when I think about 12 weeks ahead as basically a quarter, I can visualize that. I can see what's coming. I know what's planned. I know what my personal and in life and all this thing is happening. But when you start to stretch out into Q2, Q3, Q4, you can start to think that things get a little fuzzy, don't they? They get fuzzy in your life, and then of course they get fuzzy in your business. And the thing that I love about it is when we business plan annually, without chunking it down to these 12-week increments, you're creating assumptions about how you're going to do, on top of assumptions, and on and on and on, which means you're getting a lot further away likely from your lighthouse goal that you set. So the 12-week year is how I use it. Now, to implement it, I came across another tool called the self-journal. The self-journal works under these 13-week increments, 12 weeks, plus a bonus because you got to reward yourself at the end. And I'm going to walk you through how I've used the 12-week year book. And if you're interested, go ahead and get it. And then how I'm using it day to day with the self-journal, which tends to line up beautifully. And I'm going to walk you through a PDF document that I pulled from inside of it and show you how I've converted its lessons into real estate for us so that you can take this methodology. You don't even have to buy the book or buy the self-journal. And you could take the concepts and put it to use in your business. Now, the thing I love about this, about the 13-week roadmap is this. Take a look on the screen here. 11 to 25%. This was what the results of the study were that showed that after researching people that chunked down their goals to these smaller increments, saw this level of productivity gain in their business. Couldn't we all use this? And as it says here, the 13-week roadmap is a goal-setting system to allow us to follow that concept. Now, at the heart of how this 13-week journal works is these 3 core stages. These are stages that I've adopted in my life, and I kind of wanted to bring to the surface for you so you could figure out how to implement this concept. Now, for us, in the book here, it talks about, I want to hit this overarching $5,000 product launch goal. For us in real estate, that would be a little different. You might say, I want to make $500,000. I want to make $100K this year. And this would be that lighthouse goal, the lighthouse beaconing down at us and you've seen that thing turning. That's what this result goal means. Follow me so far? Now, the second stage, the second phase, I guess, is what they call these progress milestones. These are the things that have to be quantifiable in our business. And what do we mean by this? If, for instance, in this case, if I'm looking at it, this person wanted to improve their running time, their 6-minute mile. This is a quantifiable thing that as they're training, it's a progress milestone that they can chart down, make note of, and then they can see their progress over time. If it can't be tracked and measured into something quantifiable, then these progress milestones are not tight enough. So for instance, that person who was going to do the 6-minute mile, if they just said, I'm going to run more, but it wasn't like anything specific, right? I think above there, it talks about SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. This is what we need to do. All right, so we've hit phase 1, phase 2, and then it becomes the real meat of the things, the action steps, the tasks. So for every progress milestone we have, and we're going to go into how we do this in real estate, there has to be action steps that directly line up to making that quantifiable goal more likely, right? In the case here, it's saying, well, maybe one of the action steps for a salesman is sending 50 prospecting emails per day. This would lead to likely more real estate conversations, right? That's quantifiable. How many real estate conversations I want to have per month, per day. Well, this is one of the tasks that somebody would use to get it done. All right. So the reason we would do this is to just provide the clarity. And then of course the self journals This methodology teaches us how to just chunk it down and use it. Here's a beautiful visual that I've yet to replicate any better, and this is how it talks about it, right? Revenue for the year, or number of customers I created, or health, lose a certain amount of pounds. These are all big result, top of the mountain goals. The progress milestones fit a little bit less. I want to improve conversions, right? With my leads by 10%, right? I will improve my bench press to blank number by X date, quantifiable, right? I will run a 7-minute mile, very tight progress milestones. And then the daily actions for some of these, right? Again, we talked about it. I'll do 30 minutes of cardio per day. I will send 50 emails. I will make 20 phone calls. I will knock 100 doors, right? These are those tasks that align with what we're doing. All right, so within the book itself, it suggests that we pick 3 results goals. For me, in life, I've got a financial goal, right? Usually related to us, what we're talking about in sales, around income generated from sales commissions. I also have a health goal, and you might even have a project goal that's separate. But let's focus today on this conversation about what it would look like for a salesperson. So let's say your goal is to break 6 figures for the first time. You're gonna write in here that I wanna make $100,000 in GCI in 2020X, whenever you're listening to this. This would be your results goal. And I know where I'm writing this now, it's almost October 2024, and it's starting to become business planning season. The thing I love about going through their process, and why I wanted to show you on the inside of this journal, is because the money is one thing, but there's also the why, right? Why is this important to you, right? If you have a number that you can't in your own mind quantify why you would do this, I have a feeling as things get tough, you're not going to be so focused. You're going to be more interested in the goal versus committed. So I would suggest, what is it that this is going to do for you? And write this down. And again, you don't need this book to be able to go through this. All right, so if that's the case for us as a salesperson, we have a progress goal. What could be a few progress goals for us to make 100,000? Well, all of us are coming from a different place, but let me just say, you know what? I'm gonna sell 4 buyers, and I'm gonna sell 4 listings. And what else could I do? You know what? I am going to increase my database to 1,000 people with at least email and phone. All right, you follow me so far? We've got the big lighthouse goal, we've got a couple progress goals, and now we're gonna dive down into action tasks for each. So, okay, 4 buyers. This will be progress goal number 1, right? This is the buyers, let's put it right here. What are some action steps that I would do to find buyers? And every one of us is doing something different. Maybe if you're a YouTuber, you might say, I'm going to create 1 YouTube video per week. Because we know a lot of YouTube, or maybe you don't know this, but maybe a lot of YouTube drives buyer leads. Okay, maybe that's part of it, right? Maybe you're going to say, I'm going to host 1 open house per week, because there's a lot of buyers that come through that. Maybe you like investor business. Maybe you want to chart down that path, and you're going to say, I'm going to attend 1 investor meetup per month, right? So you've got these action steps that you're doing, right? That could be your buyer protocol. Sellers, maybe this is different, right? The other thing too, if you're a lead generator, this is a great one. Online leads, right? Online leads create a lot of buyers, right? Okay. Now, I want to sell 4 listings. This is a different attack point, isn't it? If I want to sell 4 listings, you might, knock 100 doors per week in my community, right? This could be your path to the homeowner, right? Maybe you're going to host, 1 virtual event for first-time sellers per month, right? Maybe you're going to run X ads targeted to sellers. Something like that. Regardless, we're all coming from a different piece of business. I can't business plan all a zillion ways we can build a business here in this video. But the concept here is chunking it down so it's quantifiable. If it can't be fit in your calendar, you're not going to do it. How about increasing my database to 1,000 people, right? Well, who knows what this could be? You could say, for each sale, I'm going to knock 100 doors, right? You're going to say, I'm going to attend, for local meetups per month, and who knows. But this is the concept that I wanted to break you down. This entire world of business planning, which when we create a lighthouse goal of 100,000 can feel very scary. And then when we chunk it down to things that we can quantify, and then we set action plans for each one, you can get things and you can understand how this then moves into your calendar. If you can get it to your calendar and you can march, right? They call it the 20-mile march, right? It's just and it's very boring, but you want to get forward and step forward with your business. Then we have a chance to build this out. Now, that's the nitty-gritty. Why I like the self-journal is because there's another page to this that I want to share with you. If you've gone through the 3 different main results goals for your life, and you've come up with a business one, maybe a wealth accumulation goal, maybe a relationship goal, maybe a health goal, and you've done this, they created this page, which I love. It makes you sign it. And again, if you're going through all of this work to create a better business plan and you want to really take action this year, well, why not go the extra step to say things like, I, Darren Langille, commit to completing these goals by blank date, right? When I achieve this goal, my life will improve in the following ways. And you need to know what this means. Again, the why, but the more tangibility here, the more chance that you're going to be little just Johnny and Sally, and you're going to march down this a task-driven goal set, all right? If I complete this goal by the target date, I will reward myself with X. This could be anything, but again, give yourself a little pat on the back that you are marching. And then a lot of times, as you know, we do action steps that don't create rewards yet, but you need to reward the progress. Make sense? And I will do the following 3 things to ensure that I will use my self-journal to take actions every day. Now, the beautiful part about that is I've been in and out personally of using the self-journal throughout my probably the last 10 years. When I use it daily and I go through the action steps, which I'm going to show you next, I was more dialed in, more intentional, more focused, and more results happened throughout my career. And I'm kind of pushing this on you because I've been there, done that, and I've seen when I've rocked it and when I haven't. All right, so then you would sign it. Let me show you on the inside what the daily use of the self-journal truly looks like. All right, friends, every single day within the self-journal is a 2-page document. It's this one, and then if I flick it across, you'll see it's this one. Let me walk you through each one quickly to see if maybe this is the thing for you. If you're like me, I use a digital calendar. So all those tasks that need to go, the most important things for the week. If you follow my other videos, I do a Sunday night planning session. I told you how to create a powerful weekly routine. Well, what I do is every day on the morning, when I've got a little time, getting my coffee, finishing my my breakfast, I would go through this. I would have the self-journal, which I have right here in front of me. I can show you. And this is my version. You order these quarterly. And you would actually take the calendared items and you would write them down specifically in here. And the beautiful thing about here is I found using these notes, giving myself these little kind of visuals and doing it over again rather than just looking at my digital camera really helped me kind of improve my execution. And I understood because I was putting in notes here that come up, based on the items that are in your calendar. It was very helpful as we went through the day to stay on course. At the very end, you want to write 3 morning gratefuls. Gratitude is such a powerful thing. I think all of us could use more of it. And I would always come up with something. It could be the littlest or the biggest thing for you. So this is how you would start your day once you've got the self-journal rocking in your world. The next page is about your goal. And you would define, again, your 3 progress goals. 1, 2, 3. You want to keep putting these visual because you don't want to be the agent that created one beautiful business plan, threw it off on the side or put it in your office and you only see it once in a while, right? The goal here is to reinforce it constantly. And here's the fun part. 1, 2, and 3, you would write a target for the day in here. Oftentimes I would write a bunch of stuff and I thought that was my target. And then all I had to do is take my eyes and I would look up and I realized those don't align with any of my goals. What am I doing this for? And then I would find myself scrapping it. And then I would write an appropriate thing that would keep me on task. So I would write very clear targets and then I would be reinforcing that they actually are a part of the bigger vision and I'm not just another realtor getting rabbit holed for the day. End of the day when I do my daily wrap-ups, I would do this lessons learned. It is unbelievable how when you're self-checking how the day went, the wins and the losses, right? The lessons learned or the losses, like what happened wrong or that worked for me. And if you define these every single day using the journal, you will see so many changes and improvements. It's kind of the fail fast kind of self-starter type thing that we want you to think about. Then of course defining your wins, because most of the time the true reward, right, when you feel like you can wear the crown and have the big wins, are down the road. So we want to define the little wins as we go, and we want to learn constantly and make adjustments. Oftentimes these were adjusting to my calendar. I thought I had it laid out well and it didn't work out, that I would have to tweak the calendar to ensure that I would manage myself, and these things would happen, and of course these things would happen down the road. And then of course do a final grateful moment. Hardest thing I found about carrying this around was having to carry it around, and that I would have to bring it wherever I was at coffee, and then I have to bring it by my night table at the end of the night, or I would just have to develop that habit. But again, this is the concept of the 12-week year in motion through the self-journal. I love it. I use it. I preach it hard. It does take time to build, but it is one of those ways that you can create super production if you buy into the concept. I hope this video has helped.